Scott Young looking to hit it long. Kevin Nugent, the target man on there, and Van Heusden having to make his first serious exertion in an Exeter shirt. Whitworth and Curran are on the near post. It's gone too high for the goalkeeper, who came and didn't get it. Curran jumping for it, Inglethorpe getting the shot in. Oh, it was only just wide in the end from Alex Inglethorpe. This is Brazier. Nugent with time to bring it down on the chest. Low, forward for Brayson, who is onside. Bowen is in the middle. Brayson might not need him. Good save. This is Nugent. Chance here. Good block by Campbell. Now Cornforth. Still Cardiff putting the pressure on. Nugent. This is Thompson. Brazier. Low to his left. Looking to get towards the byline. Good pressure and a good goal too. Well, Paul Brayson opens his account for Cardiff City. And with 32 minutes gone, Exeter find themselves a goal behind. Well, there'd been a bit of pressure, and that was the reward, really. Josh Lowe getting towards the byline. Good cross in from him. Good finish from Paul Brayson. Scott Young getting it forward. Bowen, well, he just nudged Campbell off the ball, and that could so easily have been two, and would have been, but for a fine save from Ian Van Heusden. Thompson with the free kick, aimed towards Nugent. A little cushion header, and still the danger not clear. Curran felt as if he was being pushed then. And Heusden anyway intervening, and a good clearance from him this time. Roberts, wide for Tomlinson. Good effort, good goal! And Exeter back on terms within 3 minutes of the restart. Well, I suppose you might describe it as Route 1 football. And Heusden's huge clearance. A little knockdown from Darren Roberts. And then Graham Tomlinson doing the rest. A sweet strike, giving Mark Walton no chance. Oh, interesting range this. Cornforth is shaping as if he might just have a go. Moscow and Ampadu also in attendance. It's going to be Cornforth to hit it. Well, he curled it. It wasn't a bad effort. Leave it for Andy Thompson. And in towards Nugent. Oh, Brayson got it in there, and it's turned in by Josh Lowe. Well, you have to feel sympathy for Exeter's goalkeeper then. And Heusden pulling off a great stop from that initial shot from Paul Brayson. But he couldn't prevent Josh Lowe from turning in the loose ball, almost from point-blank range, really. This is Ashton. Held in towards Steve Flack. Got it well for the header, Flack. Oh, and Walton just getting a hand to it. And for a moment, just for a moment, it looked as if that might creep in.
Delighted with the start. Delighted with the players' efforts in the pre-season programme, where we remained unbeaten for 7 games. And they've took that into today's game and just, you know, maintained that.
What was it like for you? Because obviously there have been a lot of changes going on behind the scene at the club. So has it been sort of difficult to concentrate on the job in hand a little bit?
No, I think if anything, it makes you more focused. You know, with everything that's going around you, it's important to remain focused and concentrate on what you're at the club for. I'm at the club to train the players and coach the players, and that's the part I enjoy. The players have, you know, attitude's been spot on. They haven't let things outside influences, shall we say, affect them. Because at the end of the day, they're out of our control. You know, this club's been, looks like it's been taken forward. On the other side of it, all we can do is make sure we're a part of it.
Are you enjoying, because you're going to have a slightly different role within things compared with what you sort of came in for? Are you sort of enjoying that challenge?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it probably gets me heavily involved, and that's all I want.
And I guess a lot of people are going to be making you among the favourites now, with Sam Hammam coming in, possibly money to spend, Bobby Gould as well. I mean, there must be a real feeling of optimism, I suppose.
Yeah, there is. You know, you can see that today from the fans. Their expectations are high. We've got to meet them and match them. And the players fully aware of the responsibilities, and you can see by their efforts today, they're fully aware of theirs as well.
With Barnett's first, his fourth in 4 games, the build-up was decent enough, but it was aided by some pretty ordinary defending. It stayed at 1-0 deep into the second half, despite Cardiff's best efforts, and there were plenty of them to bring things level. Then in the 81st minute, Barnett looked to have wrapped things up. Darren Curry may not have the blonde locks, but the similarities to Uncle Tony are evident for all to see. It was his goal in all but name, Ken Chollery with the finishing touch. Cardiff were desperately unhappy with the way Matt Brazier was manhandled to the ground, but what's the point of having curry if there's no spice? 2-0 and Cardiff's travelling fans contemplating a long trip home. 2 minutes later though, there was a glimmer. Josh Lowe and Robert Earnshaw had both used their pace to good effect throughout the second half, and it was fitting that they should be instrumental in turning things around. Lowe had 2 bites at this chance and made no mistake with the second. Barnett could still have put the result beyond doubt, this time Chollery the provider, Eddie Newton wasting the opportunity. And on reflection, he'll know that he should have done better. Cardiff keeper Mark Walton narrowing the angle, heightening the pressure and doing enough to force the error. And it proved to be a costly one for Barnett. Into the final minute, Cardiff pouring forward and the ball finding its way out to Lowe on the right. His delivery was enticing, and with players queuing up for their chance, it was Robert Earnshaw who got the decisive touch. He likes spectacular goals almost as much as he likes spectacular celebrations, and he certainly had every right to this one. Cardiff back from the dead and deserving no less. They remain undefeated in the league, and their spirit will have pleased Billy Ayre, Bobby Gould and Sam Hammam immensely. Now 8 visits to Underhill without a victory, but this one at least will have felt like one.
Exactly promotion material. Still early days. Bobby Gould is boosted by Josh Lowe's return from injury, and up front Kevin Nugent and Paul Brayson already have 5 goals between them. Meanwhile, 21-year-old Daniel Gabidon seems to have made the fullback berth his own after some fine displays. He's on loan from West Brom, but he should feel at home. He was born in nearby Cwmbran. Brighton haven't won at Ninian Park for 16 years, but come here full of confidence after thrashing Torquay 6-2 last weekend. Boss Mickey Adams has no injury worries, so it's a return to the Welsh capital for summer departure Richard Carpenter, while Charlie Oatway at number 10 began his career here in the early 90s. Their danger man is teenager Bobby Zamora. His hat-trick last week made it 11 goals in only 12 games for Albion, and Adams says his best is still to come. Man in charge this afternoon is Fraser Stretton, who comes from Nottingham, and we're just about ready to get underway. So off we go. It's the Seagulls against the Bluebirds. Brighton in their red and black, attacking the goal away to our right-hand side in the first half, and this is Gary Hart on the ball early for the visitors. Bobby Gould and Sam Hammam together, the dream double act. We've played just about 15 minutes. Cardiff certainly seeing more of the ball without having really created what you'd call a good goal-scoring chance. On the other end, Hart's in here for Brighton. It's Gary Hart, and that's excellent goalkeeping. And they've kept him out. Well, Mark Walton did really well then, because Hart had got away from his man, and the goalkeeper was at his feet very, very quickly, and just got enough on the block, and the ball favoured Cardiff and rolled out for the corner. Hart. That's a neat little shimmy. And again, can he get the cross in? And he can't, because Andy Legg was battling back at him, and maybe there's a bit of afters there too between Legg and Hart, both very committed individuals. Lovely change of direction that fooled Legg the first time. Green had no answer, but Legg, second time around, got the block in. Brighton corner, and the goalkeeper in trouble. Again, it was off the line, back by Caleb and over the top. Oatway.
Rogers, nice touch. This is Josh Lowe. He's quick. And he just got caught there. The referee saw it and played advantage, and a leg shot was deflected. And so nearly deflected in for the opening goal. Well, it's end-to-end stuff at Ninian Park. Very entertaining. And Cardiff City not far away from opening their account for the afternoon. Lowe, who made the trouble initially. He was clearly found. The referee saw it, played another good advantage, and leg shot. Well, Cartwright could have done nothing if that had been on target. The other flick on two. Nugent never missed his kick at the vital moment. Up goes Bonner. And Brighton can bring it away through Zamora. He's beaten one. And he's trying to get Hart in. He's taken him slightly wide. Zamora's down far post. This is Gary Hart. Still Hart. And the referee had a very good look at that and said no penalty. Well, this was the penalty incident. Wasn't given. Hart on the ball. And there was certainly contact coming up just there. McCulloch the defender, and Cardiff a bit lucky. Away by Cullet. Crowd wanted to push. Referee was having none of it. And that's another poor clearance. Andy Legg, twice has been made a present of it. Can he punish them here? He very nearly did. Well, certainly Andy Legg is playing in a much more forward role since the arrival of Bobby Gould. It's a couple of strikes on goal he's had now. And this was the nearest that Cardiff have come. Slight deflection of Paul Watson. Cullip. Rogers. Now Hart in the dying seconds of the first half, and in fact referee Fraser Stritton blows the whistle to bring the first 45 minutes to an end. Very entertaining as the away fans applaud their team off at the break. They came closest really. Gary Hart's effort, well saved by Mark Walton, and they may well have had a penalty too after McCulloch's challenge on the same player. Half time at Ninian Park. It's Cardiff 0, Brighton 0. Welcome back then. We're underway for the second half. No change to either side. Both teams will be searching for a way to break the deadlock in this second period. Not too many real clear-cut chances enjoyed by Cardiff in the first half. No doubt a few home truths delivered by Bobby Gould in the dressing room. Mayo. Carpenter. Looking to get Brooker involved again. And he's got there too. It's behind Hart. Zamora, let it go! And off the underside of the crossbar from Jones. And somehow it stays out. What a let-off for Cardiff. It's a terrific move from Brighton. And Jones denied his fourth of the season by a coat of paint. Here he is again. Brighton have the taste for it now, that's for sure. Cardiff fans are trying to rouse their side, who have been distinctly second best since the restart. In by Brooker. Zamora with an unselfish dummy, and the keeper, to give him credit, just got a touch on that, Mark Walton. Maybe the long throw this time for Brighton. Corner given. Cardiff not at all happy about that. Sure, it came off Brighton man, but the referee Fraser Stretton thought otherwise. Short to Watson. That's a useful cross, and it's in. And it's been coming. They have the lead, Brighton, and deservedly so. It's Matthew Wicks who's got it. The on-loan centre-half, his first for the club. And it was so simple. They were caught cold from the short free kick there, Cardiff. And no one picked up Wicks as he went to the near post. Fine cross from Watson and an unchallenged header. It's come just before the hour. And it's a defensive disaster for City. Gabbitt. Oh, it's reached Earnshaw, and that's a super save from Cartwright. Earnshaw, I'm sure, thought it was in. Cartwright had other ideas. No wonder he's giving it the high five. That was a marvellous stop. Low to the goalkeeper's right, always the hardest to deal with, and he got down really smartly. Just about rescued himself there, Scott Young, after the first touch went astray, but there's no flag against Bobby Zamora, and he's quick. And the referee says no penalty again. Brighton can't believe it. Second time they've had a shout for a spot kick. It was Zamora's pace that caused the problem, and Scott Young certainly had a hand on his shorts there. Well, in the meantime, Zamora should have doubled the lead anyway. That was a really bad miss, and that wasn't much better. It's all happening. And how Brighton are only one that up, only they will know. Look at the space here for Brooker. And Zamora all on his own. And a huge credit there to Mark Walton, made himself big. This is Hill. Gabbitt. Missing too much from him going forward, trying to tease Jones. And he's won his corner. Young and Green forward again. Gabbitt's cross. It'll be another corner. It was a dangerous ball in. Earnshaw right in there. And it's unsettled Brighton, the introduction of the substitute, that's for sure. Header just skimmed off a Brighton player. Keeper missed his punch again. Brayson couldn't get the shot in. Turned back by Hill. That's a marvellous solo goal. Fine goal from Danny Hill. Cardiff are back on level terms. But it took a moment of real inspiration to make it happen. Well, the crowd on their feet, they were just starting to get frustrated. And it's all come right now. Marvellous little chip. And the keeper, no more than 2 or 3 yards off his line, couldn't get near it. It was his mistake initially, Cartwright, who missed the punch. I mean, it came to Hill. It was subtle, it was stylish, and it was mighty effective. 1-1. Well, Bobby Gould now pitch side. Very relieved man to see his side get back on level terms too, I would think. Gabbitt. It's opened up for him here. Still Gabbitt. McCulloch lines up the left foot drive, and the goalkeeper, I think, saw that very late. It was a rather panic type scramble from Cartwright to get across as McCulloch struck it not far away. Decent flick on by Green, away by Watson, not very far. Brighton eventually do clear their lines. This is McCulloch. Towards Nugent. Earnshaw! How unlucky! What a way to win a game that would have been. Brilliant from Robbie Earnshaw. And denied by the woodwork. Nugent knocked it down. And how's that for improvisation? That was Evans trying the overhead. Didn't connect quite as cleanly as Earnshaw did a few minutes earlier. McCulloch. Towards Earnshaw again. It's going to come out to Gabidon. Crowd encouraging him in to shoot. It was all of 40 yards, and it required a save from the goalkeeper. Very sweet strike. That is full time in what's been a hugely entertaining contest. Finished all square. Matthew Wicks having given Brighton the lead with a header on the hour mark, and then Danny Hill later substituted with a glorious equaliser for Cardiff 15 minutes from time. Both sides hit the frame of the goal, but for Cardiff it's now 5 draws in their first 6 league games. Final score here: Cardiff City 1, Brighton 1. Billy, 5 draws now out of 6 in the league. Not what you want, I guess, but grateful for the equaliser nonetheless.
Yeah, I think against certainly Blackpool and Southend, we were disappointed with the draws. Today, maybe not so much so. You're going to get so many games during the course of a season where, you know, the bad games from our point of view, we never really got going today. And, you know, we scraped hard and worked hard for that draw. I mean, prior to scoring our equaliser, Mark Walton made a point-blank save, and the lad hit the crossbar from on the edge of the box. So we could have been in a worse position. So, you know, people say we could have won it with Ernie at the end, at the death. But today we're pleased with the result.
Billy, what's the news on Leo Fortune-West? It's virtually a done deal, the transfer, is it?
Not virtually, it's a done deal. He's at the club today and signed prior to the match.
And he's going to give you extra height, and he's a proven goal scorer too.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, and you know, we've got Kevin Nugent as a target man in the club, and if anything would happen to Kevin, we've got no one of that type of player. Leo gives us that, you know, that option now. Take a bit of weight off Kevin.
It promised to be a difficult encounter for Cardiff, and so it proved. Mark Walton making a fine save to prevent Lee Hodges putting the home team in front. Plenty of speculation at the moment about Andy Marriott swapping Sunderland for Ninian Park. Walton doing his best to persuade manager Bobby Gould he really doesn't need to go out and spend £300,000 on another goalkeeper. Still, he was a little lucky when Hodges hit the target again, and former Swansea striker Steve Torpey made a total mess of the rebound. Cardiff's own towering centre-forward, Leo Fortune-West, was once again watching all this from the bench, City's record signing among the substitutes, just as he was on Tuesday. Bobby Gould sticking with the Kevin Nugent, Robert Earnshaw pairing up front, and in the end it paid dividends. First of all, Andy Legg's cross saw Nugent send a looping header over Tom Evans and into the far corner. 70 minutes on the watch, and Nugent giving his side the lead against the run of play. That was the sign for Bobby Gould to make another interesting switch, sending Fortune-West on for Jason Boeing. And only 2 minutes later, his presence provoked the poor defensive header that saw Earnshaw take advantage of hesitation between Nathan Stanton and keeper Evans to sew up the 3 points. Earnshaw head over heels with happiness, and so were the 200 supporters who'd managed to make the trip. Cardiff have drawn 2 or 3 games they should have won so far. This could easily have gone the other way. As it was, though, a tremendous result. Scunthorpe's first home defeat of the season, City now the only unbeaten side in Division 3. The ideal start for Cardiff against a Halifax team propping up the whole of the Football League. Scott Young on the end of Andy Legg's free kick, only 8 minutes into the game. In many ways, though, it turned out to be Robert Earnshaw's match. Terrific skills to set up the cross. Kevin Nugent's header. Jason Bowen just about beating Lee Butler. Leo Fortune-West looking on as a substitute as Danny Hill's perceptive pass sent Earnshaw through, neatly claiming the goal he definitely deserved, which should have sent City on to a very comfortable win. That, of course, would have been far too straightforward in what's already turning out to be a very eventful season. A series of slips saw Cardiff old boy Craig Middleton cut the deficit, and more slackness at the back then allowed Gary Jones to stroll through and make it 3-2. Halifax had sacked manager Mark Lewis the day before. Bobby Gould may have felt his own defenders had come out in sympathy. He finally sent Leo Fortune-West on to challenge for Legg's corner, and he duly scored on his debut, getting something on the ball to deflect Hill's shot past Butler. His first for the club at a very welcome time, sealing Cardiff's first home win of the current campaign.
Around much of Britain, but it's a gloriously sunny autumn afternoon in the Welsh capital. And Cardiff hoping to build on that encouraging point at Chesterfield last weekend, and the side finally appears to have a settled look. Boss Alan Cork names an unchanged team for the 4th game running. That means the impressive Andy Legg continues in central defence, and Jason Bowen will again play just behind the front two, Nugent and Earnshaw. And from midfield, Kevin Evans has scored in successive games. Swansea's loss appears to be Cardiff's gain. Evans was on loan for a time at the Vetch last season, but chose Ninian Park when he moved from Leeds in September. York's players are no doubt relieved to have left the appalling weather in the city behind them, and manager Terry Dolan makes two changes from the side that drew 0-0 with Hull last weekend. Darren Edmondson and Scott Alex Mathie are both injured, so ex-Wrexham defender Barry Jones and David McNiven come in. And between the sticks, one of the third division's top goalkeepers. Alan Fettis is a Northern Ireland international who's been outstanding since he joined the club from Blackburn last March. Man in charge this afternoon is Steve Tomlin, who's made the trip north from Lewis in East Sussex. So we're underway then at Ninian Park. Cardiff attacking all the way to our left in this first half. They start the day in 8th position, York are 20th. York, who had that goalless draw against Hull last weekend. That was in fact their first clean sheet since early in September. They have been leaking goals, and that is what Cardiff will be hoping to exploit this afternoon, and straight away they get a free kick on the far side. Cork saying that it's the attitude of the players that's made the difference in Cardiff's form, not his tactics. It's a modest approach. He's made some very interesting changes in his brief time here, Cork. Here's Legg with the free kick for Cardiff City. Fettis comes, and it's the first comfortable catch for the 29-year-old goalkeeper, who is in fact York's only ever present so far this season. And here goes Josh Lowe with one of those trademark runs down the right-hand side. Across comes Barry Jones. The cross still comes in though, and it needed cutting out by Satori, and with Earnshaw on the prowl. Legg again with the header. Earnshaw, difficult bouncing ball. He's got it off the Bowen though. Great chance here for Cardiff, and they're ahead inside 2 minutes. Jason Bowen with the strike. It was set up superbly by Earnshaw. And the revival continues at Cardiff City. Simplicity itself, really. Oh, no wonder York have been leaking goals. Fettis left totally exposed. Lovely flick from Earnshaw. Bowen was onto it. One touch to control, and the right foot shot into the corner. No one near the number 9, and he took full advantage. Well, and Cork will be delighted at the start his team have made. So you wouldn't know it from that. Makes it tighter. Now Andy Legg. Nugent took it down really well. Earnshaw. Gabidon makes the overlap. Ball is still in play. Gabidon time to measure across. Easily away by Satori though. Bonner did well to rescue that. And what a super ball's got Bowen in again. Will it be 2? It is. Well, York just haven't learnt at all. It was a carbon copy goal. 6 minutes played, and Cardiff ahead by 2 goals to 0. And it's a brace in double quick time for Jason Bowen. Well, the change in Cardiff's formation of Bowen playing just behind Nugent and Earnshaw doesn't seem to affect his goal-scoring prowess. He took that very clinically. A little bit more difficult than the first one. Bit wider, and he took aim, and Fettis couldn't get to it. And high fives all over the place from Cardiff City. On by Agnew. Legg's first time ball. It's not a bad one either. He's got Bowen away on the right hand side. He's got Earnshaw and Nugent in the middle. Earnshaw! And he went for the spectacular. And it didn't come off. It would have been a goal of the season contender if it had finished in the back of the net. Cross in by Bowen. And Earnshaw with the bicycle kick didn't really make any sort of contact. Young will go back. And he's given it away straight to Potter. It's a nice turn by Tarrant. Down he goes. And the referee says outside the box and not inside. Young doesn't like the fact it's even a free kick. York for a second they might have got a penalty. But that's an excellent decision. Just outside. Certainly a foul. And there are currently 3 in the Cardiff wall. And they did their job. Eckhart's the last defender. Good header away. Agnew. That's deflected off Jeff Eckhart. Corner. Durkin then with the corner. It was over everybody. It's reached Potter. And the first real save that Mark Walton's had to make. Walton's clearance. Earnshaw's going to chase this. And he very nearly got to it. Nugent has, though. It'll be a really soft goal. Earnshaw must do, surely. And then Bowen denied a hat-trick by the post. How did it stay out? Low. And this time Satori gets it clear. Well, they had 2 or 3 chances there to make it 3-0 Cardiff. And Bowen will never get a better chance to get a hat-trick. It was all Earnshaw's work initially. He set up Nugent, who gave it back to Earnshaw. Excellent sliding block. And Bowen sliced a shot against the upright. Bowen. Let's come back to Jason Bowen. Josh Lowe, leg in space. Little dink looking for Gabby Dern, who met it on the volley, and it came off the York defender for a corner. Well, he hasn't scored yet for Cardiff City, Danny Gabby. Doesn't often find himself in such an advanced position. It was a delightful little chip through from Andy Legg. He got goal side of his man. Decent volley as well, and it rather hit the defender. Could have gone anywhere. Gabidon stayed forward. Pratt is able to claim it quite comfortably underneath his crossbar. If you're wondering what the noise is, here's your answer. Legg just shepherding his man wide. Potter's made the overlap. And Walton chose to punch. He was under pressure from Tarrant. There was found Lowe, who is happy to get the ball upfield. 10 minutes remaining, a little less in fact, to half-time. Dangerous cross from the left-hand side, and Walton may be aware of the presence of McNiven. Evans. Earnshaw. Such quick feet. And still Earnshaw. Brilliantly done. And it's in at the near post by Scott Young. Well, Young the scorer, but Earnshaw must get most of the credit for that. It was wonderful stuff from the teenager. From a seemingly impossible position, he was hemmed in by defenders, and his quick feet and awareness set up an easy goal for Young. Teasing and tormenting. Got it back from the byline, and Young stretched for his 3rd goal of the season. It's no more than Cardiff deserve. He's frightened the life out of York this afternoon, Rob Earnshaw. And he deservedly makes the goal for Young. Walton stays at home. Header for the substitute Hume. And that is in fact the last action of the first half. The first half dominated entirely by Cardiff City. Jason Bowen with 2 goals in the first 6 minutes set the tone. And then Scott Young added a 3rd 4 minutes before the break. An excellent first half display then from the Bluebirds as they go in comfortably ahead. It's Cardiff 3, York City 0. Welcome back to Ninian Park, where Leo Fortune West is on for the second half. in place of Kevin Nugent, with Cardiff 3 goals to the good. Alan Cork is going to give Fortune West 45 minutes to see what he can do. Very one-sided opening 45 minutes. York City needing to try and save face as much as anything else in the second half. We are underway. Alan Cork doesn't look too concerned either way, but be very surprised. Bowen, chance of a hat-trick here. Well, he hit it powerfully enough, but he couldn't get it on target. Flick on by Fortune West initially. Josh Lowe just shrugged aside Neville Stamp. Look how much space Bowen was in, but the shot was wide. Durkin. Gambit and Bonner in close attendance. They didn't have to do a great deal to win possession. Lovely dummy from Earnshaw. It's almost exhibition stuff at times from him. He's got Fortune West in the middle. Bowen trying to get there too. Still Earnshaw, going for glory. And you can almost understand him having a pop from that distance. But the initial dummy that created the chance was wonderful to watch. Totally fooled the defender, and a lovely little pass from Fortune West. It's his movement off the ball, Earnshaw, that's as impressive as his movement on it. And on this occasion, he was too high with the shot. First touch for Hall, the substitute. Looks like he's going to slot in at left back. No offside. They were looking for it, Cardiff, but Niven timed his run okay, and the cross just a fraction too high for Tarrant at the near post. One of the few decent attacking moves we've seen from York City. Cardiff to a man looked at the assistant official. He kept his flag down. Tarrant nearly got there. Satori's up from the back as well. It's gone towards the far post. It came off Hume, I think. Back in from Tarrant. Still not clear. Tarrant again. Towards outside. Over the top of his head. And bullet shot. Cleared the crossbar. Andy Legg. Looking for Fortune West or Earnshaw. And somehow it stayed out. I mean, they well put his hands on his head. Earnshaw with a cross-come shot that may have just hit Fortune West. And it did, in fact. And Fettis was able to make a reaction stop. Almost practice match pace from Cardiff at the moment. Header on by Satori. Now Legg. Bowen trying to inject some pace into proceedings. Decent ball out wide. And the cross wasn't a bad one either. Fortune West was coming in far post. And the presence of Hall stopped the striker making it 4. Measured ball across from Brazier. And Hall just got there before Fortune West. Corner to Cardiff. Taken short by Legg. Bowen drives it in, and that was well held by Fettis. Some power into that, Bowen. On a hat-trick now for about 80 minutes. So often see goalkeepers spill those, and they bounce just in front like that. We're playing injury time at Ninian Park. There'll be 3 minutes of it to add on. And Jordan happy just to put the ball anywhere. Good experience for youngsters like him to get a bit of first-team action. He played in the Welsh Cup game in midweek. Throw to York City then. Nearly reached David McNiven, and it's been played back and straight through to Mark Walton, who's had one of the most leisurely afternoons of the season, without doubt. Davidan. Bonner. Nice chest by Bowen. This is Earnshaw, and it's the goal his performance deserved. The cake has been iced. Not sure about the celebration, but it was a terrific strike, a wonderful goal, and the man of the match, without any question, Rob Earnshaw, has got his name on the score sheet in injury time. Lovely chest from Bowen, who returned the compliment after Earnshaw made his goal, and a super finish that gave Fedis no chance at all. Earnshaw was making his run. Immediately the initial pass was played, took it on with his right foot and hit it with his left, in off the post. Young. Well, there's no time for Bowen to get on the end of the pass because the final whistle has gone. And it's ended in as comprehensive a victory for Cardiff as you'll see. Jason Bowen with 2 goals inside the first 6 minutes. Scott Young got the third just before the break. And then right at the death, Rob Earnshaw with a goal his performance merited right at the death. Excellent display from Cardiff. Their unbeaten run is now 4 in the league. It's finished at Ninian Park in a very one-sided contest. Cardiff City 4, York City 0. And a very convincing win. You must be well satisfied with that performance.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play particularly well. We had a bit of a heated discussion at half-time to try and get the boys livened up a bit because I wasn't too happy with the way we started, even though we'd scored 3 goals, you know. We're trying to set standards at the club, and I think the first 45 minutes we didn't really do it properly, but you know, second half we killed the game dead, and we should have had 4 or 5 at him. Well, we did get 4, so I mean, I'm pretty pleased with that.
It was strange to hear you say you were disappointed when 2 goals in the first 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think you know, sometimes scoring goals early in the game doesn't really help, you know. And I think we went very sloppy, and they had a couple of chances, and I was just disappointed the way we got on the game, you know. And I want them, you know, to be a lot better than they were, you know. And I expect them to be. And you know, I say we're setting these standards, and I want to get better. I want to get bigger and better, you know, and that's how it should be.
Rhys Weston's second game for City since his arrival from Arsenal, close to his first goal. Anthony Williams, Hartlepool's Welsh under-21 keeper, born in Bridgend, with the save. Cardiff going forward quite well early on, still going forward when they went behind. Robert Earnshaw's shot blocked at one end, Hartlepool swiftly switching play to the other. Craig Midgley eluding a couple of ambitious challenges that left Cardiff short at the back, Paul Stevenson providing Kevin Henderson with a goal on a plate. No chance at all for Mark Walton, 1-0 to the visitors with 17 minutes on the watch. To their credit, Cardiff struck back almost immediately. Neat build-up on the right. Jason Bowen picking out Earnshaw's run. Mark Bonner involved again to supply the cross. Theo Fortune West on the end of it to supply the finish. The big striker certainly benefiting from a run of starts in the side in the absence of the injured Kevin Nugent. Always a threat in areas like that, even though he doesn't yet match Nugent in linking the play. A real escape for City a little later. Craig Midgley clean through, beating Mark Walton, but not beating the post. Cardiff clearly struggling at the back, but always a threat in attack, even without really putting their game together. Fortune West just too high from another Bonner cross. A Kevin Evans corner, seeing Daniel Gabardon almost hit the target as well. Always real worries about City's defence though, so clearly missing Andy Legg's abilities as a sweeper. And always the sense of a very serious error about to occur. Scott Young of all people, the culprit in the end, a nothing kind of clearance that put everybody in trouble and allowed Tommy Miller to go through and beat Mark Walton. Desperately bad luck for Young, making his 250th start for City at the age of 24, especially as he'd done so much to hold things together in a very young rearguard. But with less than 60 seconds to go, it did look like Cardiff's first defeat in the 8 matches since Alan Cork took charge of team affairs. Then, straight from the restart, this happened. Paul Brayson, one substitute, to Scott McCulloch, another. His cross, and Mark Bonner placing the perfect header into the bottom corner. No more than he deserved to cap an excellent midfield display, the Ninian Park faithful delighted at the prospect of salvaging a point from a game that really did seem to have got away. But of course, it wasn't over yet. Deep into injury time now, when Andrew Jordan launched it forward one more time. Leo Fortune West won it in the air, and Kurt Nogan, who'd also come off the bench, scored and celebrated in some style. Another astonishing comeback by Cardiff, repeating the amazing turnaround they'd achieved against Lincoln just 3 days before. 3 memorable wins for City in less than a week, dragging themselves back from the brink to snatch a remarkable victory.
But it's day towards the end and they went 2-1 up, but they've battled on again and kept going. Every game's been a massive game because all the Sky was here on Sunday for the game, they won 5. And then the big game really was Wednesday Lincoln. We needed to win that one just to get that game in hand and 3 points. You know? So I'm trying to tell the boys, I'm trying to explain to them it's a really big game. And today we need to win again. And every game's a big game for Cardiff at the minute because people want to beat Cardiff because according to everyone else we are a big money side in the 3rd division. They're going to come to Cardiff and be happy with a 1-1 or a 2-2. I don't want to draw games. I don't like drawing games. I want to win games, and that's why I put two more centre forwards on. So it pays off again.
Hill, Herrera, decent ball in, there's the header from Schalke and a good save by Mark Walton. Well, Khalid Schalke likes to ghost in and he likes his little headers, and that one almost picked out the bottom left-hand corner, but for the acrobatics from Cardiff City keeper Mark Walton, who was spot on. Josh Lowe beaten to the ball by Herrera, who must be 6 inches shorter. Williams, Schalke, Evans has nipped in, Kevin Evans on the ball, chance here for Robert Earnshaw, it's into the side netting and half of the ground thought that was in the back of the net. Earnshaw just lashed his left foot at it and Jones was full stretch away to his right. This is Watson. Williams a target, the keeper's collided with the defender, it's a tap-in for Tony Badeau, it's 1-0. That was calamitous defending by Cardiff City. Reece Weston came to head the ball away, there wasn't a shout from goalkeeper Mark Walton. He fisted thin air, the two of them collided, and Tony Badeau said thanks very much, 1-0. This is Khalid Schalke, who's scored 2 goals in a short space of time for Torquay United. That was Scott McCulloch's ball to Robert Earnshaw. Earnshaw's on fire here. Chance to shoot, he's gone all the way. What a superb goal by Robert Earnshaw. My goodness me. It was a superb run. He made a mockery of the Torquay United defence and beat the keeper as well. And the Zambia-born 19-year-old has got the leveller. It's 1-1. Well, referee Paul Alcock has warned Cardiff City manager Alan Cork that any more talk back and Cork will be in the stand. In fact, he's sent him off. Alan Cork, the Cardiff City manager, has been sent into the stands. Who said managers can't be sent off? A referee can actually even send a manager off on the car park after the game. Anyway, this is Gabidon for Cardiff City. They're on a high here. Important block that was, but it doesn't count because Earnshaw has scored again. Watson got a superb block on that original shot from Gabidon, but Cardiff City got the rub of the green. It fell straight to Earnshaw and he's bagged his 12th of the season. 2 in this game. Turn the game on its head. It's Torquay 1, Cardiff 2. Anyway, Cardiff City with their 8th corner of the game, first of the second half. They lead 2-1. The keeper's come for it. He's missed it. It's a hat-trick for Earnshaw. Cardiff City have won this game. There's no way back for Torquay United. Complete domination by the Welshman in the second half. A hat-trick for Earnshaw, his 13th of the season. Torquay United 1, Cardiff City 3. Well, there's a fair old scuffle taking place here in the penalty area and it's boiling over, it's getting worse. Well, Schalke hit the deck then and the keeper's in on the act. Schalke's got the red card. My goodness me. Well, Mark Bonner is still going, and he's picked out substitute Paul Brayton. He sneaked it into the net off the right post. It's 4-1. It's a thrashing. It's embarrassing. My goodness me, Paul Brayton, a summertime free transfer from Reading, sends our Cardiff City supporters into raptures. Torquay United 1, Cardiff City 4, simple tap-in in the end.
Never easy to beat the same team twice in a week. An early chance for Cheltenham as Neil Grayson missed badly while unmarked. But City soon started to put their game together. Excellent work by Robert Earnshaw, Leo Fortune West forcing a fine save from Steve Book. And then Earnshaw himself played in by Jason Bowen, a good shot with the left foot, another decent stop by Book. Andy Legg able to launch the long throw again in spite of his arm injury, and this one saw an acrobatic finish from Leo Fortune West, the sort of agility and awareness in fact that Cardiff supporters more readily associate with his partner Robert Earnshaw. Daniel Gabardon there to challenge, City spectacularly ahead with 31 minutes gone. Slightly fortunate to stay there though when Julian Alsop missed an immediate chance to equalise. The former Swansea striker once more out of luck on a ground where he was sent off 7 days before. Unlucky again when his own overhead effort hit the bar. Mark Walton saving well from Mark Yates, Alsop finding Scott Young on the line before making a mess of the last of many rebounds. At least he managed to hold 90 minutes this time, although Michael Duff didn't, lashing out at Leo Fortune West not once but twice and earning an inevitable early exit just after the beginning of the second half. Cheltenham certainly a very competitive side, to put it as politely as possible. 5 yellow cards to go with this red one on a day when they'd obviously decided to get stuck in. Duff not too keen to go, but he went in the end with a little help from his friends. 3 minutes later, City were 2 up. Mark Bonner picking out Robert Earnshaw as Cheltenham looked to spring the offside trap, always a risk against a player of Earnshaw's pace. Goal number 16, somersault number 16 of the season. Last week, the West Country team had taken control of the game when down to 10 men. No chance of that happening yesterday. Cardiff really could have scored more and put the match way beyond doubt. As it was, they failed to do so, and with 10 minutes to go, Cheltenham pulled one back. Substitute Mark Devaney taking advantage of some pretty slipshod defending. Something finally going right for Julian Alsop, even if it was accidental, the ball bouncing off his knees, falling nicely for Devaney. So, would it be a nail-biting battle to hang on to the points? Well, not a bit of it. Right from the restart, amid more claims for offside, Andy Legg's long ball found Paul Brayson, also on as a substitute, a delicate chip and an exact repeat of the FA Cup result. Yet another entertaining and eventful win at Ninian Park. Lincoln striker Gavin Gordon watching in the stands and could well complete his £500,000 move to Cardiff tomorrow. He might of course wonder if he'll ever get into the side.
They wanted to win badly and it was a lively encounter, but we came through it well, and that was a pleasing thing about it. Probably the negative was that we gave a silly goal away from a set piece, but they're a very strong side at set pieces, and you know, I think the Cardiff fans can see that Cheltenham are a good side. They make it very hard for you and they work hard, and they'll be there and thereabouts, and we've got to make sure that we're in that top of 3 at the end of the season. And it's very encouraging, you know, we're going to the Christmas period now, you know, on a high, and we've got to make sure we stay up there.
The pitch has been covered since Wednesday, and it's a credit to the determination and planning of the ground staff that the match was never in any doubt. Cardiff boss Alan Cork recalls James Harper to the side in defence. He's on loan from Arsenal. More surprisingly, both Rob Earnshaw and Gavin Gordon start on the bench. And a double celebration in the last 7 days for informed Jason Bowen. He signed a 1-year extension to his contract deal, and last weekend became a father for the 2nd time. But he wasn't there for Sam's birth because the team coach was delayed on the trip back from Southend. Plymouth, quite simply, have been woeful travellers this term, with only 1 win away from home. Boss Paul Sturrock is without striker Paul McGregor today, but otherwise has no new injury problems, and they're fresh from a last gasp win over Lincoln in midweek. Sean McCarthy is Argyle's main man up front, 165 career league goals and 10 of them this season. He may not get the warmest welcome from the home fans though. He began his career at Swansea City. Man in charge is Mark Cooper from Walsall, who may be in for a busy afternoon. 7 players were booked when those two teams met on Boxing Day at Home Park. And we are underway with Cardiff City attacking the goal away to our left in this first half, and badly needing 3 points to get out of the current playoff place they're occupying and into the top 3. Straight away, Cardiff have won a free kick. Plenty forward early on for this free kick. Fortune West is an obvious target, but it was a shot in the end and comfortably wide of John Sheffield's goal. McCarthy. That number 3-1, but he's still got to it. Excellent battling by the big striker. And he was a little late for that challenge. He'd already played the ball off, and there was certainly contact. McCarthy's being called over, and it's red. And within 7 minutes, his temper has got the better of him. Well, the referee just had no choice. Harper. Boland. Now Danny Gabidon. The space for Bowen. Just trying to knock it down for Boland. It's still not clear though, and not a very convincing header by Watton. Low! Well, surely a goal has to come. Bowen. Again a neat turn, that's Weston. Who's quite far forward. Bowen again. Gabidon. Underneath the cross, and Sheffield looked really uncomfortable dealing with it. He's managed to tip it over, and he gets an encouraging pat on the back from Paul Watton. It looks like an enforced substitution here. Not sure if Danny Gabidon's hurt himself. Either way, the main man, 17-goal Rob Earnshaw, is into the action. And if Gabidon's not injured, that's a very positive substitution from Alan Court. Here's Harper with the corner. Only half cleared. Leg can play it back to Harper. Needed to find half a yard, and it's in! Cardiff ahead. And it took him all of 30 seconds. Number 18 for the season. And all Plymouth's hard work, trying to hold on till half-time, has come to nothing. In by Harper, and Earnshaw. He knows where the goal is, doesn't he? He got one in midweek in the cup, and he's broken the deadlock here with 37 minutes gone. Josh Lowe. Time space to find a cross towards Fortune West, and it was an excellent piece of goalkeeping by Sheffield, and he's suddenly finding himself a very busy man. He can have a breather now. It's a free kick to Plymouth. Worrell. O'Sullivan opened up for him for a second. Still Mike for Stonebridge. Has beaten Weston, but there was just a queue of Cardiff defenders lining up to take it off him. And here comes Jason Bowen in the last minute of the first half, looking towards Rob Earnshaw, and he's got there first too. Now the shot was knocked away, otherwise Earnshaw would have had his second. He really is a live wire. Stonebridge, Worrell. One marked is McGlinchey, and he's onside too. Only O'Sullivan in the middle, and Leg with a half clearance. It's come back to McGlinchey. That's a nice turn. Not a back cross either, and a terrific save from Walton. It looks a certain goal, and he's had virtually nothing to do, and that was a sensational stop. McGlinchey did excellently to get the cross in, and you were looking for the net to bulge. The header by Freo, and kept out somehow by Mark Walton. Weston just looked up and saw a line of green shirts ahead of him, so he's played it wide to Josh Lowe. who won't be able to use his pace this time because Mark Cooper has blown the whistle to end the half. 45 minutes that began so dramatically with the sending off of Sean McCarthy, and then the astonishing introduction of Rob Earnshaw, scoring within a minute of coming on, and his goal divides the teams. Half-time at Ninian Park. It's Cardiff City 1, Plymouth 0. Welcome back to Ninian Park. Cardiff a goal to the good, and playing against 10 men. One would expect them to increase their lead in the second half. And there's the man whose goal separates the teams. Harper has lost his concentration there, I think. Freo. It hit O'Sullivan. Still Plymouth have it. This is McGlinchey. Again, a teasing one, and well won, and it's in. It's Stonebridge of Plymouth Argyle. Fine header. McGlinchey picked out his man unerringly. And that's an excellent header. The one place that Mark Walton couldn't get to it. Just guided in off the post. Brazier. He's taking on Worrell. And the referee has given Cardiff a free kick here. And he may take some further action too. Now Simon is trying to plead the case for David Worrell, but it's not going to save him from a booking. Free kick. Goalkeeper decides to punch. 6 out of 10 for that. Cardiff still have it though. Here's Young. He's looking to get the corner, and he succeeded. Looks like a call for McGlinchey. Indeed it is. Spate of cautions early in the second half. You've only played 9 minutes. Corner goes short to Harper. Leg. Colour. That's a goal kick. Andy Leg. For a second seemed to think about the shot and then thought better of it. Here's Brazier. Somehow he's got it past Worrell. Stepped aside when O'Sullivan tried to get the challenge in, and now Cardiff can knock it towards the box, but away by the first defender. A little bit of afters there between Harper and McGlinchey, I think it was, and it's a red card. A red card for James Harper. Now what's the referee going to do here? Only a yellow. And it's a red as well. Well, McGlinchey actually had already been booked, and that has been his undoing. So you can scratch the 10 against 10. It's now 10 against 9. McCulloch just camped on the edge of that Plymouth box. Can they find a way through it? Ryan's trying to. What a neat jinking run. And he'll get his corner, but nothing more. Leg will take the corner. Young is at the far post. It's been played to the edge of the box for Bowen. Now McCulloch. Some deflection on that. And I think one side of the ground thought that was in. It wasn't. It was just too high. It will be another corner. Here's Leg's corner towards Scott Young. Josh Lowe again. Left-footed, not properly cleared. Goalkeeper in trouble! And Leo Fortune West has restored Cardiff's lead. It has been coming. And the relief around Ninian Park is there for all to see. It was Josh Lowe who drove it in. Took a couple of ricochets. Goalkeeper came out and rather flapped at it. And Fortune West got his head in where it hurts, and he's got his reward. It won't win goal of the season. Fortune West don't care about that. There's Weatherick. There's one for Gritton to chase. Scott Young just had a look and checked where Gritton was. And all he can do is just knock the ball away. And Gritton will take over for Plymouth. There's Weatherick. Dicked in and a bullet header. I think it was a way off target. Brazier. McCulloch. Space here for Jason Bone to run into. And he's played it wide to Fortune West. And maybe the finish was just a touch casual. Earnshaw. He can finish it here, Rob Earnshaw. And he's done just that. No doubt where the points are going now. And the familiar somersault means Cardiff are home and dry. It's taken them all of 87 minutes to make the game safe. And it's now 19 goals for the number 19. Too much pace for Paul Watt and too much power for the goalkeeper. Looked like he may have gone a touch wide, but not a bit of it. Inside the last minute of injury time. Earnshaw. McCulloch won't fancy his chances here. Scott McCulloch. He's gone through them all and he's got it in somehow off the goalkeeper. And a game that for so long Cardiff struggled to win, they've now won at a canter by 4 goals to 1. Sometimes the scoreline doesn't really tell the full story. It was almost like it was glued to his foot, and Sheffield will not want to see that again. The knife through butter, really. Goalkeeper rather slow to react. An inspired substitution, Rob Earnshaw off the bench and on the score sheet within about 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, that's nice for the boy, and he's a goal scorer, and he'll always score goals. I think sometimes his general play lets him down a little bit, but he's only 19 still, and he's still learning.
Does he get very disappointed when he's only on the bench, or does he take it well?
I don't really care. I'm in the business of trying to win games and get this club out this league, and I will pick players to play when I feel like they can play.
Alan Cork recalls Mark Walton in goal, whilst Danny Gabidon and Reece Weston have both recovered from injuries. They're in for Matt Brazier and Andy Thompson. Russell Perrett is City's forgotten man. He made his first appearance this term at Mansfield on Tuesday after another season wrecked by injury. His 5 years as a pro have yielded barely 90 games, but if he can stay fit, he'll be a big part of the Division 2 campaign to come. Shrewsbury are almost certainly safe from the drop, even if they don't pick up another point. But they're not the best of travellers, only 3 wins on the road all season. Just one change to the side that beat Blackpool last weekend. Greg Rioch is fit again and replaces Gareth Hanmer. Nigel Jemson is the Shrews skipper and their most well-known player. The former Forest man leads Town's goal-scoring charts with 12 for the season. Clearly, being at his 13th club hasn't proved unlucky. Man in charge this afternoon is Phil Dowd from Stoke-on-Trent. And we're underway at Ninian Park for the final time this season. Tremendous atmosphere inside the ground. Rodri's already told you about Cardiff hoping to go through the season unbeaten here. Only the second time in their history. But as our director recalled when he was leafing through his old 1940s programmes the other day, they also scored their record goal haul in their history during the 40s. That was 93 goals and needed a couple more today to equal that. Sam Hammam took 6 pages in today's programme and included in his message, he said he was willing to bet anyone anything that Cardiff would not be relegated next season. Away by Bone, only Brayson is up. And he's had to give Rioch about a 5-yard start. Wasn't very convincing though from Greg Rioch. Put his goalkeeper into a fair degree of difficulty, and that's not much better either. So a corner out of nothing for Cardiff, and Edwards and Rioch are going to have to improve their communication. Bowen plays the corner short. Now he's got it back. Leg. On his luck, and it was a good save, must be. Scott Young with a centre-forward style tap-in. Well, it was one defender who had the initial shot, and another who finished it off. Inside 10 minutes, Cardiff City are ahead, and the party now is in full swing. No one picked up Andy Legg with his weaker left foot. Edwards only got a hand to it, and there was Scott Young for number 11 of the season. Pretty ropey defending, but Cardiff won't mind about that. He's 11th and his easiest too. Bowen with Weston outside him. Boland takes over. And towards Bowen. That's a really good ball. Grayson waiting, and it went through the keeper and off the line. Combination of Wilding and Redmile to the rescue for Shrewsbury. And it was a piercing through ball that so nearly led to number 2. Just watch the goalkeeper here. Right through him. And his blush is just about spared by his colleagues. Edwards' kick. Neat little flick on it, didn't quite reach low, but the reason was he was being shoved. Free kick to Shrewsbury, in a dangerous position here as well. It's a very, very strong wind, which is against Jepson, and it's him to take, and it wasn't very far away. He really is an artist from that kind of distance. Not so much power, it's placement, and I'm not sure the goalkeeper would have got to that. Low, Wilding. Reece Weston on the far post, didn't do much there. It's come back to Murray. Fine stop by Mark Walton. Hasn't had to do too much. But his reactions were first class there when he was called upon, because that was struck with some venom. Weston didn't make it on the far post, Aston did. Came back to Murray, who fairly leathered that. Good goalkeeping. Goes Perrett. This is low. Wilding on the overlap. That's a useful cross by Wilding. Free header, 1-1. So simple. Nigel Jepson, the scorer. His 13th goal of the season. And Cardiff just ripped apart at the back there. No marking at all. And a player of Jepson's ability doesn't need a second invitation to score from that range. Right in between Perrett and Young. And after 32 minutes, Shrewsbury are level. No one near it. Leg. Grayson on the right foot. Just didn't get on top of it. A neat piece of skill. Towards Scott Young. And they still reach it. He thinks it's clearly going to be a corner. That's been given. Well, we've played exactly 2 minutes now of stoppage time. So they're going to have to be quick here. Andy Legg is sprinting over to try and make sure they at least get to put it into the Shrewsbury box. Bowen. Legg again. Gabidon, but that's all there is in the first half. And Andy Legg wasn't too keen on the challenge there from Sam Aston. And there's been nothing in the game at all of an unsavoury nature. Just threatened to flare up there in the final few seconds. Rather a muted first half though, after Scott Young's very early goal had threatened something of a goal fest. But Shrewsbury got level through Nigel Jepson just after the half hour. After 45 minutes in the score here at Ninian Park, it's Cardiff City 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. Welcome back to Soccer Sunday. Very windy in Indian Park. 1-1 between Cardiff City and Shrewsbury in this, the Bluebirds' final home league game of the season. I've had to make a half-time substitution. Mark Bonner is on in place of Russell Perrott. It can only be hoped that Perrott's injury is not too serious. He has been desperately unlucky through his career. Andy Legg is back in with the fans on his run up here. Take this throw towards Young. Good save. Fortune West with the back heel, and Evans got there a second time. That's more like it from Cardiff. Combination of excellent goalkeeping and a bit of good luck kept Cardiff out. Scott Young's first header did well to reach that Edwards, and that was cheeky from Fortune West, and it got trapped between Edwards' legs. Legg trying to find himself a yard. Evans. Bowen. Still Bowen! Good drive, and well held by Edwards. If he'd spilled that, there were a couple of Cardiff players to take advantage. A real daisy cutter from Bowen. And Edwards' handling was very secure. Oh, Legg's given that away, has he, to Aston? Good chance here for Shrewsbury. Aston can give them the lead. Good tackle by Weston. He was the last man, he had to time that perfectly, and he did. Aston kept his balance really well there, Sam Aston. But Weston fought back to his credit and made sure he wasn't really going anywhere. Final substitution then for Cardiff City. It will be Rob Earnshaw to come on. Leo Fortune West is going to come off. So Cardiff's leading goal scorer for this season has 20 minutes to try and find number 24. Redmond won the header. Scott Young. Huge clearance that by Walton. Redmar's leading it, and Earnshaw is going to score here for Cardiff. A goal out of nothing, and that's what he's all about. Hasn't scored for a while, but everyone knows who he is. He doesn't have to point to his shirt here. Just 17 minutes left. Redmar and the goalkeeper left it to each other, and Earnshaw's opportunism gets him his 24th of the season. He made it his, and from that point on, there was only ever going to be one outcome. Too high for Earnshaw. Here's Murray. That wasn't quite what he intended. He's only 18, Carl Murray. Cockney. Rioch's header, now Peer. Stolen by Lowe. He's got it stuck under his feet. There's Young! What a strike that is! He's a goal-scoring machine from centre-half. Oh, that's 2 for today. 12 for the season. That was the best of a lot. Well, there's no doubt now where the points are going. Cardiff are not going to be beaten at home this season. And just look at the power and the accuracy with which Scott Young hit this. Absolute bullet. It was past Edwards before he even saw it. Credit Scott Young with half an assist. It came off the Shrewsbury player. Absolutely buried by Young. And the fans are getting ready to invade the pitch. They've still 10 minutes to play though, premature. I remember when Soccer Sunday was here at the back end of last season. Couldn't have been more of a contrast. The doom and gloom of relegation. But the new team of Sam Hammam, Bobby Gould and Alan Cork have turned it all round for Cardiff. And that was a poor challenge on Earnshaw. And the Cardiff fans will be very relieved to see him get up with a smile on his face there. Redmar went straight through his man. Well, a couple of fans have come on just a bit early. We are playing stoppage time. And he's blown the final whistle very quickly. The firecrackers have gone off here at Ninian Park, and thousands of Bluebird fans come rushing onto the field to celebrate the objective being achieved. Cardiff knew they were up last weekend, but many of these fans couldn't get tickets for York, and now they can celebrate on their own ground, a ground that's become a fortress this season. No one has won here. The only ground in all 4 divisions that can be said. These are the scenes that he was aiming to achieve way back in August. Alan Cork has said that the Cardiff fans are the best he's ever been associated with. And they are really going to enjoy this. The season ends fittingly with Cardiff successful at home. They've beaten Shrewsbury by 3 goals to 1. And the party is just beginning.
I'm delighted for the young boys. I mean, you know, it's a great achievement for them. You know, they might not realise it now, but I mean, it really is. They might not ever again. You know, I think the way football is, it's a horrible, it's a horrible game to be in. You know, it really is. And as a manager, it's even worse. But I think at my level, I think it's about a 1.5-year job. I think.
I'm sure the fans were heartened when they read in the programme Sam Hammam saying that no one's going to be sold, especially when Rob Earnshaw came on today and scored. That makes your job easy, knowing that you've got those players for next season.
Well, you've got to say it's a great substitution, that, wasn't it, really? I mean, taking a 6'4" bloke up and putting a 3'4" and then he scores for his first kick. But no, I mean, Sam's said all along he's not going to sell anyone. He wants to get in the first division as quick as possible, and then all of a sudden the value of players goes up, and then who knows what might happen. He might keep going.
Alan Cork, a happy man and every right to be. Roll on next season. Cardiff completing that remarkable record at Ninian Park, unbeaten not only in Division 3 but in all other games as well. 94 goals scored too, more than anyone else in the league, including the likes of Manchester United and Fulham, finally surpassing the total of that 1946-47 side who won the old Division 3 South title. Brighton seeming certain of the championship, Chesterfield still waiting to hear just how many points they'll lose for those financial misdemeanours.